Most of you motherfuckers are about 3 months away from really transforming how your physique looks, but there is one big problem that always stands in the way. It is not the training split you are following. It is not the nutrition plan you are following. It's nothing to do with the cardio. You know what you should be doing. You know about calorie deficit. You know about progressive overload. The problem and the reason why you have not got the physique you want to is because you cannot stick to a program long enough to yield the results from the thing. Fitness advice should not even be about fitness advice. And this is honestly the backbone of this channel, which if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Tom Sergi. I run the Gorilla 2 where we get results like this each and every week. And honestly, the backbone of achieving results like this, it's not even about the training split. Sure, we can be a little bit tactful. If you want more volume on the arms and you can do 5 days, we can manipulate the split to have more volume. If you can only do 4 days, we can write you a full body pull, full body push times 2. If you only do 3 days, we can hit you with a full body. Sure, we can structure a proper program. Most of you don't need that. Because most of you, even if I gave you the program, would not stick to it for 12 weeks straight to yield the results that the program would give you. You know why? Because you will set off on this program, you will follow it for 3 weeks, and then you will see some guy in the gym with bigger traps than you and be like, oh, that was it. That's what I forgot to put in my program. Traps. Now it's time to insert 3 new trap exercises into my training split, right? This is what we're going to do. Oh, another week comes by, and that guy's really chiseled abs. Really chiseled abs. Right, what I'm going to start to do now is I'm going to cut early. Even though I know I shouldn't, even though I know in this recomp phase I'm not supposed to be cutting just yet, I'm going to cut now because that guy's got chiseled abs. And then you'll be out at a party, and there'll be your mate there, and he'll have his t-shirt on, and his short head of his tricep will be absolutely bulging. You'll be like, that was it, that was a problem. Triceps, I didn't have enough triceps, and let's put some more triceps in the program. And then 2 more weeks will go by. You're on week 5 at this point now. You'll see another one of your mates who can bang on the pads in boxing. He can fucking bang. Bow, 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 bow. And you'll look at him and be like, boxing. Fuck the gym, right? Boxing. That's what we need to be doing. Boxing. Now, is having big traps good? Yes. Is having sharp triceps good? Is having chiseled abs? Yes, good. Is it good to be able to on the pads? Yes, absolutely. All of these things are amazing. All of these things are fucking brilliant. All of these things are things you should strive for. The problem is you are trying to do all of them and therefore doing none of them. You are trying to spread yourself so thin that you are not even at level 1 in anything. You're at level 0.3 in everything, which is fucking garbage. Your issue is not within the training split. Your issue is not 3 exercises that you need to grow your biceps. Your issue is not how to run calorie deficit. Your issue is not 1 gram per pound of body weight. It's none of that. It's none of that fucking stuff. Your issue is your ability to stick to one thing long enough to achieve the results. If you did any of those random things I just made up, you would get the result of those random things. But you don't. You can only stick to it for a short period of time, therefore you yield no results. Now, this is not your fault. I am aware of this because I have lived through this situation and many, many people do themselves. Why do we live like this? Well, it's because we're in a world where distractions are fucking like here, there, and everywhere. You cannot... In fact, we could say you could lock yourself in your room away from distractions. As soon as you open your phone, you are peppered with distractions. Your problem is not the training split. Your problem is you spend too long on the Instagram Explore page. And then you get fucking stupid ideas which are going to veer you off course and off task. And this is kind of what it looks like when people are trying to get towards their goal. Let's just get a quick page up and draw this out. You want to go from A to B. But most of you will set off from A. We're going towards the goal. This is fucking great. And then you'll be sat on Instagram one day and you'll see like, carnivore diet is the best thing since sliced bread. This is what you need to be eating. Oh, cool. Let's do carnivore. Dip. And not that carnivore's bad, but in the essence of where you were looking to build as much muscle as possible, you cutting carbs will destroy that. Because you've just not been doing cardio enough long enough to understand how to run that properly and to get the effects of it. Is it good? Yes, I would say for productivity. Is it good? Yes, for testosterone, for sure. Is it good for you looking to build muscle that can barely drive any proper performance in the gym anyway, and we take away your only driving factor being carbs, is it going to be useful to you? No. So it's a backward step. Then you'll be back moving towards the goal, struggling, and then you'll be back on the Instagram Explore page, and you'll see boxing, boom, and you'll be back over here. Honestly, my mission here to get results like this, or like actually, yeah, this over the long term, like week 1, week 12, 16, week 18-month period, that's what this is about. It's being able to keep the brain focused on one set goal time after time after time. It's to stop you from looking at all this sort of stuff. It's to make you believe you're already at B. Right, if I need to be this guy, because you're going from that guy to this guy first, what do I need to already be at B? Well, I just need to follow one training split, which I was given, relative to my weak areas. I need to eat this food, relative to the food I actually like, not whatever, because diet is like religion. I get that. People love carnivore, people love fucking vegan. Fuck, don't even think about going to war with those motherfuckers, because you will lose even though you will win. Fuck the vegans. You've got loads of different diets, then diet is like religion. Just pick one and stick to it. Not vegan. And then you will stick to your cardio plan. Stick to one thing. Your best bet when you go for this transformation is to shut everything else off. To stay away from Instagram, to stay away from YouTube, dare I say it. Unless you're only going to watch the topic of the thing that you're doing to enhance the thing that you're doing, then fine. You have my blessing. But do not watch the internet and change your workout routine. For goodness sake, it is the worst thing you can do, because you will not build muscle doing that. And the reason I say that is, when you set a new training program, it's exciting and it's new. I had this recently because I'd been running push-pull, legs, rest day, chest and back, arms and delts for the longest period of time. But when I say I've changed it, I'm not changing the amount of days I'm training. All I've done is I'm now running chest and back, legs, arms and delts, rest. Chest and back, arms and delts, rest. So all I've really done is I've given my arms a fresh own day with its own attention, whereas before it had one own day and the other arm work was split between push and pull. It's a very slight change. But even doing that, when you set out on something new with a new exercise, you will get very quick gains. And it's not that you're building new muscle with that new exercise. It's more that neurologically, your body was able to actually lift the top point that you've got it to. It just had to go through the pathway and the process to actually get to that point. When you get to the point where it is achievable to achieve one more rep in the session or get a little bit more load, now you're building muscle. Don't fucking change the program at this point, because you've wasted all that time it took to get up to that pinnacle point. If you change the program now, you're a fucking moron. But that's what people will do. They'll think, I need to shock the body and keep it guessing. The only reason you can shock the body and keep it guessing is because you're doing some random movement that you've not done in ages. It's not that in itself will build DOMs. DOMs don't build muscle. DOMs are just a byproduct of doing some random movement that created soreness. Like, you could do a random afternoon of rock climbing. You'll have fucking DOMs in like the back end part of your forearm that you've not seen in the longest period of time. It's not that you built muscle just from doing that one session. It's just your muscle is sore because it had random weird stimulus on it that you've never done before. You can put in there some like weird wrist exercise and you'll have weird DOMs in your body. It doesn't equate to muscle. What equates to muscle is tangibly looking, I lifted this on week 1, on week 12 I can now lift this. This is the difference. There's the tangible gain that I've made, and it's trackable. You can put your hands on it. Don't get me wrong, I am a data drives decision type of guy. That's how I get the results I do, because I look at the data and I make calculated decisions. Don't get too wrapped up in the data. Do still enjoy your training, but have it as the staple and the backbone to fall back on. Because when you've got the data to put your hands on, you'll still move with confidence on one set training split. This year I went from, and I should have got a picture up really, but I went from 75 kg at the end of a cut up to 89. I didn't change the program. I didn't change the diet. I just fucking put my head down and sent it and spoke about it online, which you'll be able to find many videos that I've spoke about my journey as well as client results. And that's it. Like, it's been a year that I've run the same training split for. And I would honestly say, like, short of moving to a new gym that's got better equipment, you just don't really need to change your training split. The only reason you want to, maybe every 6 months, is maybe for enjoyment purposes. But that's every 6 months. That's you've exhausted your program. You know you're not a fucking loser that just can't stick to one thing for long enough to achieve a result. You know that if you say you're going to do something, you can do it, then fine. You have my blessing. Every 6 months, change your training split. The staple is still going to be the same. You're still going to be doing some form of like horizontal push, horizontal pull, vertical push, vertical pull, some form of knee bend, some form of hip hinge, some form of elbow flexion and extension. It's all pretty much going to be the same, right? So you have my blessing at that point. The goal, and why I make this point in this video, is the goal is not to give you the fancy information to get you to the goal. The goal is just simply to keep you on the straight and narrow so you can get results. That is what it's for. That is exactly what it's for. I get messages, I had some in the Gorilla Platoon WhatsApp yesterday where blokes were saying, thank you, I lost 10 kg in 7 weeks. They didn't do anything fancy. They followed one program, one meal plan, which we don't even change either, by the way, unless we need to move something around to create more of a calorie deficit, which we don't do in the beginning. We push output. And then that way, they achieve results. They didn't do anything fancy. They just followed everything I said for 7 weeks, and they dropped a shit ton of weight. And they made progress towards their goal. Over the long term, this is what you can expect to achieve. You can expect to go from this to this if you just stick to the simple methodology. He's been with me over 18 months. We just stuck to the simple methodology. I don't even think we've changed his training split once. I really don't. And he's been on the same meal plan. Do you know why? Because it fucking works. Don't get me wrong. When you're in an off season and you want to meal out, you can have a meal out. Not when you're dieting down. When you're dieting down, don't think, oh, I need variety. Anything. You don't. You need one thing. Food is fuel. Food is fuel. Food is fuel. Food is not there for enjoyment or taste. When it is when you're in the off season. And guess what? You don't make it yourself. You go out and eat it. That's the fucking, enjoy the experience. Enjoy the social aspect. When you're not, cook it yourself. Food is fuel. You don't need any fancy variety. You don't need any fancy meal plan. Another thing, the people that have the analogy of live for the weekend. None of these motherfuckers have the live for the weekend analogy. The problem is not that you live for the weekend. The problem is that when you go, I live for the weekend, you're basically saying that fucking, well, let's do the math. If a weekend is Saturday, Sunday, that's 2 days. That means 5 days. The rest of the time is fucking shit that you have to live for the remaining 2. The problem is not that you live for the weekend and you go and enjoy yourself. I don't have the issue with that. I have the issue with you're escaping what was happening in the first 5 days. That's why you're hindering progress. When really, if you just fix the first 5 days, you could enjoy the second 2 without having to abuse your body and take you well away from your goals. If you live for the weekend, the problem is the week. It's not the weekend that's actually the problem. Like, I don't have a problem really with you being an absolute social butterfly and honestly just drinking 10 pints. That's not really the issue. Obviously, it's not going to get you any results and you will have to stop it. But the issue is that the problem is the week and you're not fixing it. So the key takeaway from this video, and I'll wrap up on here. Look at where you are getting distracted and why you are getting distracted. Write those down. Objectively sit, and it will be painful, and you won't really enjoy doing it, and you'll get distracted as you're trying to stop yourself from getting distracted. Good. Feel the pain. Understand that fucking hell, my life would be so much better if I just looked at my wall. I do this sometimes, and I'll know when it's time to do it because my brain will be fuzzy, and I'll be thinking this, I'll be thinking that. I'll be like, stop. Fucking stop. You're thinking about too much shit, too much bullshit. It's got to that time again. You probably spent too long on your phone. Get it away. Look at your wall. Let your brain fucking simmer. And then what you need will come to you. But if you're constantly taking in input, you will never be able to produce output, which it's not about creating information that goes online. It's about you creating how your life wants to go and what your goals are and all this sort of stuff. And I would argue to you to do this as we go through this month. Just well, it's a Sunday's a great day to do this, but take any day that you have half off, get some black coffee, just sit and think what you want to achieve in 2025, and then think what could stop you from getting there. And if you've got physique goals, sporting goals, performance goals, the main thing that's going to stop you from getting there is just simply not being able to stick to the thing over the longest period of time because of distractions. Look at where those distractions are going to come, either through Instagram, either through YouTube, either through your mates, either through like other like work colleagues or influence. Look at where the distraction could come around and then have the let's say the weapon in your arsenal as to how you're going to combat that distraction. When I see such and such banging the pads with fucking quick speed, I'm going to think that is cool as fuck. I'm in a bulk right now. I'm going to continue with this bulk and get to the weight I wanted to. When I cut down, then I'll start doing that. And I'll go all in on that. And I'll be better rather than just half tickling it now. That is what I would suggest. If you can't stick to something over the long term, that would be my advice to you. Work out where the distraction is, why it comes from, and what you will do about it on that given day. Write it down somewhere that you can see it, and then it will stop you from like tripping over or standing over your own dick when you're trying to get to your goal. The issue is not with the training split. The issue is with your ability to stay to the training split for the longest period of time. I tell you, the worst programs in the world, if you actually followed them for 16 weeks, you would still build muscle. And you know that deep down. Let's be honest. Like, we all know what we should be doing. We find cope and avoidance in the work because sometimes it feels hard. The only reason it feels hard is because your brain is distracted, because you've part fried your dopamine receptors before you try to do the difficult task. You want to achieve difficult things, do it as soon as you wake up. Don't go on your phone. Don't watch YouTube. Don't listen to music. Don't fucking go out and speak to random people that take away your creativity and your fucking zest for life. Just do the thing first and you will get it done. And then do whatever the fuck you wanted to do after that. Eat the frog. Eat the fucking frog. Hard, fast, and aggressive. And you will achieve what you want. Thank you for listening in this video. I hope you found it useful. Honestly, stuff like this is like, when I was like trying to achieve things in life, this was really, really helpful to me. So I wanted to pass this lesson on to you. The issue is not within the thing. Always look internally as to why you're not achieving something. I'm not perfect. I have to do this all the time in my own life. And trust me, I am harder on myself than I am on any advice I give to you out on YouTube. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Also subscribe to my channel.